At office, is everybody out here? Office involved? Okay. I want everybody here. All right. Good morning, team. How are we doing this morning? All right. Well, thank you for letting me visit with y'all today. Obviously, y'all all know. Does anyone remember what my 3 favorite words are? Listen, learn, and adapt. Now, the training this morning is not on that, but I want you to write those 3 words down. And where we're headed now is nonverbal communication. That is so key to everything we do in life. We have verbal communication. Client walks in the door and goes, "Oh, I'd like to see a 2-carat round diamond." Okay, that's verbal communication. That's pretty simple. What about it when that client walks in the door and just looks around and doesn't say anything? Now, part of nonverbal communication is, what is that client doing when they walk in the door and you're doing the same thing? Not yet. Not yet. I'll tell you just a sec. What they're doing is they're sizing you up. They are already forming impressions of Sissy's log cabin by your demeanor. So if you're over there shuffling papers at your desk, even though you may not be up, but you're over there looking at the shuffling papers and you look up at the client coming to the door and they see you and you look back down, would you just non-verbally tell them? I'm busy. You're not worthy of me getting up waiting on you. So what I want y'all to do is talk about, okay, when they come in, it's pretty simple, verbal communication, but nonverbal communication is how people see you and it's how you see them. Managers, we're going to talk about this too. A manager's role is to go through the store all day long, non-verbally watching everything. Because he can come up, what I used to do when I ran the Jonesboro stores, I would come up and I could look at the client and the salesperson and I would know where they were as far as the transaction was going. If the client looked at me and never took their eyes off of me, Carlos, what did that tell me as a manager? I need to get involved, or I need to answer some questions or do something. But when the client looks at me and then looks right back down at Dot, what does that tell me? Get out of the way. She's doing a great job. So nonverbal communication is so key to everything we do around here with each other as well. Now, one thing we're going to do at the very end of this little 5-minute training is I have a favorite thing that I do when I go from store to store to store. You know what we end up? We say 2 words and we say them as loud as we can. And that is go team. Y'all are a team that the Jones family has put together, your management team has put together. Y'all are more important to me than anything else. As I go from store to store, it's the team. Because if y'all work together, now I'm a retired tennis pro. So I used to coach a lot of teams. The team is more important than the sum of all the individuals. And so, Carlos, when you interview people and hire people, it's not about, you're a good person, you're a good salesperson, but does the person fit your team? Now, let's talk about what's on my face. Back in 1976, before many of you were born, I was in graduate school, and I had a psychology professor who put a scar on his face. He went to the art department and put a scar on his face. And he went out in the community for 3 months wearing that scar. What did people do? When they came up to him, they a lot of times looked the other way. They stared at him. They made fun of him. Look at his scar. Y'all made fun of me after Alejandro whipped me up this morning. And so a lot of things happened on the negative side. One person, in 3 months, one person came up to him.
Mark, is there anything we can do? How are you feeling?
No, Mark, are you going to be okay?
Mark, are you going to be okay?
Yes,
and I'm worried about how you're feeling.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
That tells me that you care about
me. I do.
That is y'all's job as a team, is to care about your clients as they come in to this store. Not only here in the building, but outside of the building. Now, this scar is pretty simple. And Carlos, as a sales floor manager, as you're roaming, you see a high school kid over there and he's got a cast on his leg. You can turn that into kind of, first of all, you always start out by saying, I want to thank you for coming into our store today. It means a lot. Thank you. Is your leg going to be, are you going to be okay?
Oh, yeah. It'll be better in 2 weeks.
That's good. So you heard it playing basketball, huh? Mm-hmm. You must be a pretty good basketball player.
I was.
Okay, now, what did I just show her?
Interest.
Interest. I showed her, and here are the words. I want y'all to write these 2 words down. Sincerity and humility. Those are so key for this to be a successful company. Now, y'all can go out and sell $1 million ring, but if you come back and gloat and go out and make fun, blah, 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 and you don't really show sincerity and humility with each other, with your clients, and I've said this all along, we can sell 1 ring to everybody in Little Rock and go out of business. It's all about relationships, sincerity, humility. Now, the scar is pretty simple, isn't it? Because you can see it. But a lot of injuries you don't see. The other day I was in the Jonesboro store, client come up, she had just lost her husband. She was a good client of mine. I said, are you going to be okay? She started crying. Now, by having compassion, sincerity, and humility, that is more important. If you want to drive this brand, if you want to make more money, if you want the store to make more money, form relationships, care about your clients, care about the nonverbal communication that's going on between you and your clients. Now, a lot of it can be fun. It doesn't. I'm not trying to make this sound like this is a sad moment every time. And this is why I always get with Sherry, stores, every store should have gift cards to local restaurants. The other day when I was in the Jonesboro store, there were a couple in there. They were having that day they came into Sissy's Log Cabin, it was their 40th wedding anniversary. They made a purchase. But what did I do as the sales floor manager or store manager? What did I do? I went and got a gift card and gave it to the salesperson. And the salesperson, I said, well, thank you again for coming into Sissy's Log Cabin. And thank you for sharing your 40th anniversary with us. But guess what? We want to celebrate it with you. Here's a gift card to so-and-so's restaurant for $50. Thank you. Okay, and that's why every store needs to have those gift cards. And get with your manager when you have that. It could be a 16th birthday. It could be a young lady coming in and it's her 16th birthday and she's just picking out a Gabriel necklace or something. It doesn't matter what it is. What it is you are celebrating the moment in life with your clients through sincerity and humility. Any questions? I challenge y'all today to be sincere, humble, compassionate, and guess what? Let's start out in here. After all, we're a team. So if you're over here and you need some help and you need a teammate, look up and say, I need a little help. Or if you see a client come in and you recognize a client and they have a special occasion that you want to celebrate, let the Jones family know. Let your manager know. Let somebody know. Get a gift card. Celebrate with them so that we can carry that out, because when they go out in the community and they go to that restaurant, who are they going to talk about? Sissy's Log Cabin. And that's what we're about. We're about sincerity, humility, compassion. And remember, most nonverbal communication, you have to read it. You have to pay attention. Not get so busy over there at your desk. That's one thing to do. Dot knows me. Jackie knows me. I'm like a BB when I'm in a store. I'm bouncing off of every wall, talking to every client that comes in that store. Carlos, you probably do the same thing. Just to go up and say, thank you for coming into our store. I appreciate it. Nonverbal, she's eye-to-eye contact. We're doing okay. If not, I'm going to get Carlos involved. I may need to get Bill Jones involved. May need to get Sherry involved. Maybe it's a lady that I'm not real good. One thing I'm not real good about, ladies that want long, pretty, dangly earrings. Because guess what? Mark Sanders doesn't wear earrings. So what do? I listen, I learn, I adapt, I get somebody else to come over and take over. and move out of the way. I'm not so greedy that I can figure everything on my mind. Because remember, 10% of the clients that come through that door, they don't like Mark Sanders. They like Alejandra. Or they like someone else. They go, Lauren. Lauren's new. They may, oh, she's young. I don't want that old man over there waiting on me. All right, so we're going to listen, learn, adapt through nonverbal communication. Thank y'all for your time this morning. All right.